habits breaking or building you? And are you adding habits or subtracting habits? Or are you trying to add habits when you haven't been subtracting? What's up, guys? Jeff here from Grid City Fitness and Performance. Today's topic is actually on 2 points, and that's on the habit formation process, as well as are the habits you're doing actually helping you or hindering you? So here's something to consider, guys. We all have habits, right? Every day we are performing habits. We are performing a habit in the way we go to work. We're performing a habit in the way we do our morning routine, our process. We're in habits of how we make excuses to go to the gym, or we have habits of getting our coffee every morning or eating that one donut, whatever it may be. Well, here's the truth. All of our habits are either building us to be the best versions of ourselves or breaking us, tearing us down from the best version of ourselves. Why or how? What do I mean by this? Well, again, let's go back. Let's say, hey, we have a coffee every day. Well, if one of our goals is to eliminate caffeine and I'm drinking a coffee every day, is that helping me? Is that adding a positive building block in this sense? Or is it taking a negative building block and pulling it out? Now, to think about this in another way, guys, is if you were trying to build a tower, right? Think about it like Jenga. If you're building a tower, as long as you keep putting positive blocks on, you would be able to grow this tower higher and higher and higher. But as you put 2 blocks on, you also took 1 block off, because let's say we again said the coffee, if I took 1 block off for every 2, I'm still going to be able to build this structure, but it's going to be very unstable eventually because it doesn't have as much support. So are the things that you're doing on a daily basis adding to your growth or subtracting from it? Now, the second layer of this is addition by subtraction. Our brains work in a process called addition and subtraction, right? We're always adding things to our memory bank and getting rid of things from our memory bank. We are unable to continually add things without removal of things. So this is the key process in the habit formation. Many people try and go about their day by just adding new things in. So again, let's say I continue to do my normal morning routine, which is my normal morning routine. I grab a coffee, I go to work, and then I go work out sometimes. Well, if I continue to do that same routine and all I try to do now is add a secondary positive habit, I'm adding to something that's already going on. So I'm adding to something without the removal of something. So what ends up happening is I feel more overwhelmed because I'm stacking more stuff onto my plate. Instead, I should be doing a removal process plus an addition process. What this means is, let's say I don't want to be drinking caffeine anymore. So instead of drinking caffeine, I say, hey, every time I crave caffeine, I'm going to do 10 push-ups and I'm going to drink a bottle of water. Now what I've done is I've made the coffee no longer an action that I would take, and I've minused it out and added a new positive action. That positive action is push-ups. Why push-ups? Because if I do push-ups, it's probably going to remind me that I don't want coffee. 2, push-ups are going to help me with the body that I want, if that was my goal. And 3, it's going to be an activity or something for me to do. 4, I'm stacking it with water because hydration is going to make me not want to drink coffee. So what did I just do? I got rid of a negative habit through subtraction, and I added a positive habit through addition. What this has now done is created a positive habit loop while subtracting out the negative things that help me build positive habits that add positive building blocks. So it's a very similar idea here, guys. What can you minus out while also adding in that actually gives you the positive feedback loop you need to achieve the outcome you want? For instance, many times people have a hard time of getting motivated to go to the gym. So a positive feedback loop, or a new feedback loop you could change, is the normal habit process of going to work out after work. If you notice that doesn't work frequently, change the habit. Put it in the morning. Instead of waking up an hour later, let's say you wake up at 7:30 to scurry to work by 8:30, try waking up at 8, at 6. Try waking up at 6, putting the gym at 6:30, and then going about your day. Why? Because what I've done is minus out a little extra sleep in the morning, but I've added in the positive habit of exercise. What I've now done is minus the ability to make the excuse later on in the day while adding it positively in the beginning of my day. Now, here's the upside of both these things. By adding it early in the day, I've also started myself in a secondary positive feedback loop. Because what happens after you work out? You feel better, you have more energy, you're more excited, you're more awake, you make better decisions. So guess what? If I train in the morning, I'm probably going to also make better food choices later on down the line. So one positive feedback loop was instantly changed by simply minusing out a little extra sleep that I might need, sleeping more at night, like going to bed earlier, sleeping a little shorter in the morning, and going to train first thing. adding a new positive action in while minusing out a negative action that doesn't give me what I want. Another a version of this, guys, is, let's say one of your negative loops is negative self-talk. What you can do is, if you realize you're having negative self-talk, instead you change it to positives. You realize that as soon as you're starting to say something negative, you must kick yourself in the ass. This is another way where you're doing 10 burpees, 15, something, 20 jumping jacks as soon as you feel your negative self-talk kick in. Why? Jumping jacks are going to make you have to do something. 2, after a certain amount of them, you're going to stop wanting to do them. 3, routinely doing them because you catch yourself having negative self-talk, will realize how often you do them. And then by adding these secondary actions, it stops the negative action. What happens? You start having positive thinking. The positive thinking allows you to have better positive frames. Imagine filters, right? Do I put a red filter on my life, or do I put a blue filter on my life? In this case, I'm putting a blue filter on my life because it makes my life more enjoyable. It gives me positive feedback. Because of this, I'm now in a positive feedback loop and make better decisions. So where are your habits that you are performing negatively impacting you or positively impacting you? On the second layer of that, where are those habits something that you could subtract away while simultaneously adding something positive in its place? Third, what would your life results and outcomes be like if you stopped doing the negative habits and started adding more positives? What would your life be like with more positive habits? How would your life change? How would your life be aligned? How would your life be in regards to how it is now? If you realize that you have a big gap, that's normal. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is very, very common. And that gap is important because now your goal is to build the bridge that's going to connect you currently to you futurely. And those bridges that you're building, that bridge that you're going to build, is through the new positive habits that you're going to be putting in place there. Those positive habits are the rope, the wood, and the stones that you are putting down on the ground or in the air to walk across from point A to point B, current place to where you want to be, through true and positive habits that you create by subtracting the negatives.